What's going on, everybody? Ivan Temelkov here. Happy Monday, wherever you are. Hope you're having an amazing day. I want to jump on here real quick and talk about something, if I can get my mic adjusted correctly. So, over the last 14 days, I've been doing the Carnivore Diet, which is an all animal-based diet, 100% animal-based diet. And for those of you that have been following my stories, I've been sharing updates on my journey over the last 14 days. So actually today is day 15 on the Carnivore Diet. And I wanted to share some things with you guys. First of all, 15 days in, today's the 15th day. I've lost 6 pounds on this diet, and I feel the best ever. Mentally, I'm sharper than ever. I've got more focus. I've got more clarity. I've got more energy. I'm Iron Man. That is exactly how I feel right now. Why I want to talk about this and why this is important. First of all, if you're an entrepreneur and looking to elevate your business to the next level, then you really need to consider a diet of some sort, okay? First and foremost, because what you put in your body is who you are, who you become. And I'm telling you this because I, of all people on the face of this planet, have learned this the hardest way possible, because I have ate shit for the vast majority of my life. Literally, I ate everything I could get my hands on. Candy, steaks, burgers, all kinds of crap. All kinds of crap, literally. Fast food. And I'm lucky enough that I have a high enough metabolism that's actually has helped me for the vast majority of my life. Now I'm 40 years old, and let's just say that I'm not getting any younger. If anything, I feel better than ever. I feel like I'm 20 years old. I'm going to be honest with you. And it's amazing. It's amazing. So, let me share just a little bit about the Carnivore Diet so you guys can understand where I'm coming from on this. So Carnivore Diet is an all animal based diet. Now, one of the guys that really has elevated the Carnivore Diet is David Goggins, who literally I nearly crapped my pants when he responded to my Instagram comment recently. There's actually a video I'm going to be pushing out tomorrow on my socials where David Goggins actually responded to my comment. I literally nearly shit my pants. And here's why. Because if you get a chance, go and watch David Goggins' new Goalcast video. It's available on his Instagram account. It is literally going to be an eye-opening experience for you. And if it isn't, your life sucks and you're living under a rock. I will tell you that. Seriously, he has been labeled the world's toughest man. This guy has done, literally, he has done things that even Lance Armstrong didn't do. Literally, he has set all kinds of different records. I'm not here to trump David Goggins. I just encourage you to go and follow him. What I'm here to do is to tell you that if you want to get in the best mental shape, in the best physical shape of your life, dominate your life, your relationship, your marriage, your business, you need the Carnivore Diet. You don't believe me? In 2019, I hit 6 figures in income with my business. This is after being bankrupt and being in the red for 3 years with my business. This year, we're on course to double that amount. And one of the main reasons, and mind you, we're in the midst of a pandemic too, when everybody's collecting stimulus checks, I'm hiring a full-time employee. In fact, currently actually talking to a salesperson that's looking to join my company, Razor Sharp Digital. This is all due to the mental shift that I've experienced. You see, the reason why carnivore is such a great diet, and mind you, I hesitated the Carnivore Diet for 2 months, because I wasn't sure that it was safe. Everything that I had found online said, it's not good long-term for your kidneys. It's a no-carb diet. It can cause your body to go through withdrawals. That's just it. The reason why most people don't succeed in life and in business is because they're too worried about the repercussions. They're setting expectations. They're wanting to have instant gratification and everything. That's why. You know what? I simply decided on July 27th, 2020 that I was going to do the carnivore diet through the end of August. So it is 34 days, I believe, on the carnivore diet. Now, I will tell you this. I know people who have been doing the carnivore diet for over 6 months, and they're in the best shape of their life. They're in the best shape mentally. And honestly, the only way you're going to know if something works is if you try it. And for me personally, being on day 15, mind you, I have been documenting everything day by day on my stories, on my Facebook story, and on my Instagram story, and talking about my journey. I will tell you this: I've had my fails. I've had my share of fails. I will tell you that much. And nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. What's important though is to learn from those failures. It's important to learn from those failures and keep going. In fact, that is what accountability is about. Your ability to recognize your shortcomings, to embrace them, and then to be able to move forward. And this is what a lot of people are unwilling to do. Literally, this is what a lot of people are unwilling to do. Honestly, right now, there's more bickering, hatred, and ego going on in the world than anything else. Now, if you want to get in the best mental and physical shape of your life, I would encourage you to do the carnivore diet. Even do it just for 30 days. Like I said, right now I'm on day 15 and I've lost 6 pounds. I will tell you that this is the best feeling that I've ever had. This is in the best shape that I think I've been mentally and physically. And I feel like there's no stopping. And I will do, by the way, I just posted my weigh-in on my Facebook story and my Instagram story a little bit ago. I've got a fly flying in here somewhere. Sorry about that. I just posted my 14-day weigh-in that shows the 6-pound loss. And here's the thing. I know a lot of people have told me, I've talked to people who are, dietitians or have studied nutrition and whatnot. I said, the carnivore diet is not necessarily safe, and then they'll say, well, you can lose up to 5 pounds if you just eat healthy. True. But, I've paced at an average of 3 pounds per week, now 2 weeks into this diet. And actually the first 2 pounds were water weight. Our bodies hold so much water, and the only way to actually flush that out is through more water. And so your water intake, by the way, that's what I'm drinking right here. Your water intake has to be extremely high. And, what can I say about this diet? I'm not here to promote the diet. That's not what I'm talking about here. I want to share with you guys the things that I have learned. And hopefully these experiences can be applicable to your own life, applicable to your own business, applicable to anything that you try to do. And that's just it. What are you willing to do to become the best version of yourself? What are you willing to do? Most people are unwilling to do what it takes. Most people are afraid. They're too worried about what society is going to think of them. They're too worried about the outcome. You know what? You just got to start. It's that simple. Just start. And for me personally, this is maybe the 3rd or 4th diet that I've done. And all the prior diets haven't been sustainable, or I failed at them. It's been one of those two things. But here's the reality of things. I also hesitated. Like I said, I hesitated the carnivore diet for 2 months. Until I realized that the only way that I'm going to know whether or not this is going to work is if I start, try it, see how I do on it, and then go from there and take it day by day. And that's exactly what I have done. And I'll tell you this, it has been extremely tough. I mentioned I've had a few failures myself, but it has been extremely tough because everything is mental. Do you know how hard it is to resist sugar and candy and chocolate and milk and fast food and soda and alcohol? And the reality of things, it actually isn't all that hard until it becomes a mental thing. In fact, everything in life and in business is mental. It's the way you perceive things and the way that you choose to act upon those things based on the impression that you have acquired, based on your perception. And for me, you know what? Growing up, I grew up, being told it's okay to eat. It's okay to to eat chocolate, to eat this, to eat that, and I wasn't really put on restrictions. I wasn't. I'm 40 years old, and I'm finally realizing that I can be in the best shape of my life. I can be in the best mental state of my life. But I gotta fly, literally flying around here. But it's going to take work. Like anything else, it's going to take work. And here's the thing, this diet isn't for anybody else but myself. This is probably one of the biggest misconceptions that I've heard from people is that, oh, why are you doing this diet? Well, who do you think I'm doing it for? I'm doing it for myself. And that's just it. If you want to grow mentally and physically, you have to be willing to invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Do the things that you need to do. Go and watch the David Goggins GoCast video. It's going to make you go, whoa. Make you realize that you aren't doing enough in your life. You're not. Most people aren't because they're unwilling. I was there. I was that person. I always aspired to do more things, but I never did them. You want to know why? I was too worried about what society thought. I was too worried about what people on social media thought. I was too worried about what the end results were going to be. To where I didn't even start any of these things. And you know what? When I prioritized and realized, okay, let's face it, the reality of things is just that if I can become the best version of myself physically and mentally, I'm going to be able to conquer anything. Anything I set my mind to. Anything. And in the reality of things, that's literally what's happening. I'm conquering so many different things. I spoke with someone who messaged me earlier, and she was like, so what's this diet you're doing? I said, it's an all animal-based diet, and we got into the discussion. And, I told her about how, business is growing, and I'm excited about taking a vacation with my family at the end of this month, first vacation in 4 years. And, how I feel like things are finally aligning. Things are finally aligning is because I decided to invest in myself. And I decided to do this carnivore diet because I wanted to sharpen my mental and physical state. I mean, last week, if you've been watching my Facebook wall, I cycled 34 miles back to back. And those of you that don't know me, so I've been a cyclist for 7 years, since 2013. I have a road bike. In fact, I still have that original bike, a $300 Schwinn Prelude aluminum bike. I still have that, and I'm still riding it. Of course, I'm looking to upgrade that bike very, very soon to a carbon, simply because, well, for one, it's the weight reduction. It's going to give me about 20 to 25 pounds less. Let's face it, unless you cycled before, you would happen to know that shedding off 20 and 25 pounds off your weight actually helps you tremendously with wind resistance and inertia, right? So, last week, Wednesday and Thursday, 14 miles cycling on Wednesday, 20 miles on Thursday. On Thursday, I hesitated so much. I hesitated to go out there, in the park, on the road and cycle because I felt like I was exhausted, physically primarily because, I had just cycled 14 miles the day before, and I knew that back-to-back cycling would probably be too much for me. But you know what I decided? I said, nope, that's just an excuse. That's just an excuse not to go out and ride. And when I did 6 more miles. So that following day, I did 20 miles. So that's 2 days back-to-back, 34 miles. And that's just it. People have too many excuses. Too many excuses for everything. Someone's always at fault about their current state, why their life is not going the way that they hoped, why their job is not going the way that they hoped, why their business is not growing. It's always someone else's problem, but their problem. Well, you're the problem. That's the problem. You're the problem. And the quicker you realize that the sooner you do something about that, the sooner that you say enough is enough. And I'm here to tell you, I'm very lucky to be surrounded by some amazing individuals. I really am. Millionaires, people who are running successful, profitable businesses, people who are in the best physical shape of their lives. In fact, I just interviewed the youngest millionaire coming out of Greece on the podcast, the Roz Project, that is up on my wall as well. And you know what? It really made me realize, him. And I have a couple other people lined up as well. Several that I've already interviewed as well. And I will tell you this. When you get to recognize the successful people have two things going for them, and that is health and fitness and two, mindset. When you realize that these are the two essential things that every successful person in the world has going for them, it kind of makes you wonder, are you failing in your life, in your business, in your relationships because you're unhealthy and you have a terrible mindset because you are a pessimist or you think negatively? If you've got those two things going on, that's why you're not getting to where you want to be. Honestly. So there's some scientific studies that have been done. I was actually listening to something that Tai Lopez was talking about. And, he was talking about the probability, the chances based on scientific studies that show that when you think positively, when you think the best outcome in something, there's just something that happens in the chemicals in your brain that really rewires the way that you think. And by doing that, you're more or less manifesting a positive outcome. And this is literally what has happened with this carnivore diet. I mean, I will tell you this. One of the drawbacks about this carnivore diet is the fact that it's kind of costly because you're eating all animal-based products. So everything from ribeyes, strip loins, grilled chicken, rotisserie chicken, fish is acceptable like tilapia and salmon, obviously, ground beef, burger, right? But I'm going to be honest with you guys, between that and eating eggs, also which are acceptable, a very minimal amount of dairy is acceptable on this carnivore diet. And I've barely touched any dairy, alcohol obviously is, permitted, but in very, very low consumption. In fact, I've permanently switched to hard liquor, but, I've probably gone through now, let's see, I'm on my 4th dozen of eggs at this point. 4 dozen eggs, and I know it seems kind of cliche, but it's happening. It's happening. And it's amazing the kind of attraction that you create around the people, the way you attract the right type of people. Like, I've had people that have literally messaged me and said, Ivan, your face looks different. Ivan, you've got a fire in your eyes. Ivan, you've got a fire in your voice. You're far more enthusiastic and energetic than you were before. Like, there's no lag about you. Like, you're just going, man. You're just invigorated. Like, ladies and gentlemen, these are people that are watching videos like this or seeing photos of me that are recognizing the change from a visual standpoint of my physical state. I can begin to tell you how mind-blowing that is. That someone actually can recognize that and say, Ivan, your face looks slimmer. Your eyes, they have a burning fire in it. You can tell by your voice how assertive, enthusiastic, authoritative you are. And that is all translating into everything that you're doing in your life and in your business. Ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you this. Every successful person I have ever met has done the extreme, has gone through the extreme, have done extreme diets. They've gone through extreme pain and suffering to get to where they want to be. And I know millionaires. I know people who came to this country with nothing, absolutely nothing, not even a fatherly or even a motherly figure. And now they're living the best day of their life. The best life, I should say. The best life ever. They've got the car. They've got the houses. They've got the business. They've got the money. You know why? Because they spent 20, 30 years of their life doing the extreme. If you don't want to stay extreme, if you don't want to do the extreme, you'll be average. You'll be mediocre. When was the last time you knew someone who played by the rules that society dictated upon them and was able to succeed, to build a business, to become the best version of themselves? When did that happen? Never. Never. Because average does not produce extraordinary. Okay? Abnormal does. Unconventional does. Polarizing does. People that are risk takers are some of the most favorite people that I admire, honestly. I mean, to have the balls to go to the polar extreme, I admire people like that. I do. Because these are risk takers. These are people that are willing to risk and sacrifice and do whatever it takes. And you know what? A month from now, 2 months from now, when I look in the mirror and I look at that shredded six-pack, it's coming. And I'll show you guys. It's coming. And I will reference back to this video, or one of many that I've done thus far, because, again, that is the result. That is the reward. Okay? And as I mentioned, if you're just tuning in, there's 2 reasons why I've decided to do the carnivore diet: mental and physical. Physical is to get ripped. First of all, I haven't seen my abs since I was probably 18 or 19 years old. That was nearly 20 years ago, over 20 years ago. And my mental state hasn't been this sharp since probably I was 16 or 17 years old. Now, why am I telling this to you? Why am I sharing this? Because you have to understand that the extreme measures are necessary to become the best version of yourself. Do you got problems in your life? Sure, we all do. You got struggles in your life? Sure, we all do. You got money problems in your life? We all do. You got relationship problems? We all do, in some form or fashion. Not that I'm saying there's some extreme relationship problems. The point I'm trying to make, ladies and gentlemen, is that if you want to get to that next level, and I know many of you that are watching these videos want to get to that next level, you need to do shit that's going to take you to the next level. Okay? Associate yourself with people that are going to help you go to the next level. You know what's the problem with that is too many people are associating with mediocre people. They're watching shit on social media that mediocre people say. When was the last time a mediocre person became extraordinary? Never. When was the last time a gossiper became an extraordinary person? Never. That's what I'm trying to point out here. And look, carnivore is an extreme diet. It really is. You know, and I didn't even used to believe in diets, to be honest with you. You know, I think for the vast majority of my life, I've ate like shit. I've ate fast food. You know, I've drank soda. I've drank alcohol to where I got a beer gut. But that's about it, you know? And now I want to get rid of that gut desperately because I know it's not a good thing. In fact, I'll tell you this. So for the last 2 weeks, so this is day 15 actually, of the carnivore diet, I actually have more or less eliminated alcohol. I've went from, you know, drinking Corona Light, you know, Corona, I think it's extra, also that's got 90 calories on it, which I enjoyed, to drinking 100% hard liquor. I'm talking about a couple of drops of bourbon. And I hate hard liquor. I hate hard liquor. It gives me a burn in my lungs. And honestly, I just can't withstand that. But I will tell you this. Here's what happened. On Saturday, this past Saturday, I had 1 Corona beer left. And mind you, I hadn't drank all week. In fact, you know, I was debating whether or not I should drink it all. So I ended up drinking this Corona Extra. And as I'm going like halfway through the bottle, I get like this feeling or I get this thought in my mind that makes me go like, Ivan, this doesn't even taste right. You know, you want to know why? It's because when you kill a bad habit, and drinking is really a bad habit, honestly, and I've always been a social drinker. I was never a heavy drinker. I've always been a social drinker. I came to a realization that I would rather have, a smidge, a couple of fingers of bourbon once or twice per week, which, by the way, is better for you anyway, than to drink beer or even malt drinks. Mainly because they just don't taste good anymore. And I'm even hesitant towards sugar. And mind you, I love chocolate. I love donuts. I love jelly beans. I love all kinds of shit, all kinds of candy. I grew up on all this stuff. But I have come to the realization that these are all things that need to be left behind. These are things, sugars and carbs are not helping me. If anything, they were creating a lag. And this is why I am so sharp, so energetic, so focused, because the carbs and the sugars haven't been in my daily food intake for 15 days. And it feels amazing. It feels absolutely amazing. So why would I want to deteriorate something good by starting to eat crappy again? And that's just it. That's where the mental shift comes from. That's where the mental shift comes in, to make you realize that, you know what? You don't need alcohol. You don't need sugar. You don't need carbs. Now, I don't know if I would go as far as saying that the carnivore diet is a permanent diet, but I will tell you this. I want to get through the remainder of August. If I can do 34 days of carnivore from July 27th through August 30th and complete that successfully, and as of right now, I'm down 6 pounds, I'd be happy if I lose 15 pounds. I'd be happy if I lose 10 pounds by the end of August. In fact, I will be happy with any amount of weight lost. Here's why. And this is actually something that I've realized going into the second week, is just that it's not about creating the expectation of how many pounds you lose. It's realizing the potential and the value that this diet has in the way that it makes you think and feel about yourself. I feel the lightest that I ever have been. I've got more energy, more focus, more clarity, and I think you will too. I encourage you, try this diet, and see how you do on it. But stay the course. Stay the course. Like I said, I admire what David Goggins has done. I've brought up his name in this broadcast multiple times, and I'll tell you this. This guy is living his best life right now, and I mean, what else can I say? What else can I say? You want to be the best? Do the extreme. That's really what it comes down to. Do the extreme. Take chances. Risk. Sacrifice. You know what's more costly in life and in business? It's more costly for you to never try than to try and fail. That's the reality of it. Because when you fail, you fall, you get up, you learn, and you keep going. But when you don't even try anything out of your ordinary, that is far more costly long term, because you just degraded all your potential. And then regret settles in, which is even worse. So I want to leave you with that. Think about it. Would love to know your thoughts. Thank you for those of you that joined on the live. Just had a lot on my mind to share about this carnivore diet and everything that's been happening. If you want to stay in touch with me, follow my Facebook story and Instagram story, where I'm sharing my daily journey, everything that I'm doing about this carnivore diet and the transformation that I'm currently on. And I hope that you have an amazing rest of your Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.